Previously on Deskbound Dilemmas, Sarah Prasad, the determined heiress to a luxury lakeside resort, finds herself at a crossroads as she steps into her father's shoes amidst corporate tension. Meanwhile, Krishna arrives for a job interview, unaware that this meeting will mark the beginning of something much greater than just a career move. As power struggles simmer beneath the surface, the weight of expectations looms over them both. But just when the day seems like any other, a sudden crisis strikes. An ambulance rushes into the resort, carrying none other than Shankar Prasad, the man who built this empire. With uncertainty looming and Sarah's world shifting beneath her feet, Krishna unknowingly finds himself at the heart of something much bigger than he ever expected. And now, Chapter 2, The First Meet. As Sarah and Krishna cross paths again, their fates begin to intertwine in ways neither of them could have foreseen. Power, ambition, and an undeniable chemistry, everything is set in motion. Let's dive into the next chapter of Deskbound Dilemmas.
Krishna's first week at Gandipet Lake Resort had been a whirlwind of observations and quick learning. As the newly appointed marketing manager, he quickly realized the complexities of the place. The resort wasn't just a luxury destination, it was a legacy, a status symbol for Hyderabad's elite, and a stage for high-stakes business negotiations. Krishna had barely scratched the surface of his responsibilities when the urgent commotion of the ambulance incident had left him with lingering questions. He had heard about Shankar Prasad, the founder of the resort. A self-made businessman, Shankar was known for his vision and his iron will. But the woman he saw that day, running toward the stretcher with a determined stride, was a mystery. Krishna had a feeling she wasn't just another guest or employee. A few days later, he got his answer. Krishna was at his desk, reviewing customer feedback reports, when the HR manager approached him. "Krishna," she said, a hint of nervousness in her voice, "Mr. Prasad's daughter, Sarah, would like to meet you in her office." Krishna raised an eyebrow. "Sarah Prasad?" he asked. The HR manager nodded. "Yes, she's taking over operations while Mr. Prasad recovers." Krishna adjusted his tie, mentally preparing himself. He hadn't interacted with Sarah before, but he had heard whispers about her. Harvard-educated, sharp, and decisive, she was known for her intelligence and poise. But there were also rumors about her being cold, distant, and unyielding. Krishna wasn't one to rely on hearsay, but he couldn't deny his curiosity. As he walked through the resort's sleek corridors, Krishna's mind raced. What could she want? Was this a routine introduction, or was there more to it? He reached her office, a corner room with glass walls overlooking the serene Gandipet Lake. The sunlight streaming in gave the space an almost ethereal quality. Krishna knocked on the door. "Come in," came a calm, confident voice. He stepped inside and saw her, Sarah Prasad. She was seated behind a minimalist desk, her posture straight, her expression focused. Her sharp features were framed by her jet-black hair, and her eyes carried an intensity that made Krishna instantly alert. She wore a tailored navy suit, exuding authority without trying too hard. "Mr. Krishna, I presume?" she said, her tone even, yet carrying a subtle undercurrent of command. "Yes, Ms. Prasad," Krishna replied, maintaining eye contact. "Please have a seat," she said, gesturing to the chair opposite her. Krishna sat down, his calm demeanor matching hers. "I've gone through your profile," Sarah began, her voice measured. "Your track record in marketing is impressive. You've increased revenue and brand recognition in your previous roles. But Gandipet Lake Resort is not just another hotel. It's a legacy, and its reputation is non-negotiable." Krishna nodded. "I understand, ma'am. My priority is to ensure that the resort's legacy not only remains intact, but grows stronger." Sarah's lips curved into the faintest hint of a smile. "Good. I like your confidence." She leaned back slightly, her gaze never wavering. "I called you here because we're in a critical phase. As you know, my father is recovering, and there's a lot of scrutiny on how we manage operations during this time. I need to know that I can rely on you, Mr. Krishna. Krishna appreciated her directness. You can count on me, Ms. Prasad. I'm here to contribute to the resort's success in every way I can. There was a pause, a moment of mutual assessment. Sarah seemed to be gauging his sincerity, while Krishna was taking in her presence. She wasn't cold, as the rumors suggested. She was composed, yes, but there was warmth beneath her polished exterior, a quiet strength that demanded respect. Just as Krishna thought the meeting was winding down, Sarah's assistant entered the room with a folder. Ms. Prasad, these are the client profiles you requested, she said, placing the folder on the desk. Thank you, Mira, Sarah replied, before turning back to Krishna. One more thing, she said, her tone shifting slightly. There's a gala dinner next week. It's a significant event for us, a chance to connect with our top clients and industry leaders. I'd like you to take the lead on the promotional strategy. Krishna was surprised, but didn't let it show. Of course, I'll ensure the gala receives the attention it deserves. Sarah nodded, satisfied. Good. I'll expect a proposal by Friday. With that, she stood, signaling the end of the meeting. Krishna rose as well, extending his hand. Thank you for the opportunity, Ms. Prasad. Sarah shook his hand, her grip firm. Welcome to Gandipet Lake Resort, Mr. Krishna. As Krishna walked back to his desk, he couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. Sarah Prasad was unlike anyone he had worked with before. She was challenging, yes, but there was something about her that intrigued him, a complexity that he couldn't quite put into words. The days leading up to the gala were a blur of activity. Krishna threw himself into the task of collaborating with his team to craft a promotional strategy that would highlight the resort's exclusivity and elegance. His ideas were bold, but he knew they had to be if they wanted to make an impact. On the day of the gala, the resort was transformed. The outdoor terrace overlooking the lake was adorned with twinkling fairy lights, and the scent of fresh flowers filled the air. Guests in designer outfits mingled, their laughter blending with the soft strains of a live jazz band. Krishna stood by the bar, observing the scene. He was pleased with how everything had come together. Just then, he saw Sarah approaching, her presence commanding attention even in the midst of the glamorous crowd. She wore a floor-length emerald gown that accentuated her elegance, and her confident stride spoke volumes. Mr. Krishna, she said, stopping beside him, the event looks stunning. You've exceeded my expectations. Krishna smiled. Thank you, Ms. Prasad. I'm glad you're pleased. Sarah's gaze swept across the crowd. The resort needed this, a reminder of its legacy and potential. You've helped achieve that. Krishna felt a sense of pride at her words. It's a team effort, ma'am. For a moment, they stood in comfortable silence, watching the guests enjoy the evening. Then Sarah turned to him, her expression softening just slightly. You've done well, Krishna. I look forward to seeing what else you're capable of. As she walked away to greet a guest, Krishna couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. His first major assignment at Gandipet Lake Resort had been a success, and he had earned Sarah Prasad's approval. But more than that, he realized something else. This was only the beginning of their story.
Thank you for listening to this chapter of Deskbound Dilemmas. The story is just getting started, and there's so much more to unfold. If you're enjoying the journey, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Rise and Thrive for notifications on the next chapter. Stay tuned. More drama, romance, and unexpected twists are coming your way.